Nigerian singer and songwriter Ida Hims breaks down his path to his latest EP, Man on Fire. And we're kicking it all off with the Tsonga Prince, Mr. Henny C himself. Now, being a Limpopo artist is a bit difficult, but we hear Mr. Henny C is making a big splash on the local music scene, whilst tracks like Lovola Money may be nominated for 2 awards at the upcoming South African Music Awards. He is showing us that his latest album, Love and War, that he is here to stay.
I don't want no trouble. Lovola Money lay on the table. Mama said when any can lower camina. Aye 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 aye. I don't want no trouble. Lovola Money lay on the table. Mama said when any can lower camina. Aye aye aye. Let the second
Welcome to the Love Tsonga Prince.
Thank you for having me, Palisa. How you doing?
I'm so good. I'm loving all the music on today's show. Now, your career started 16 years ago. Talk to us about how you got your start in the music industry.
Look, man, I've always been passionate with music, since I was very young, because my uncle used to, play guitar, so we'll be sitting around the fire and he will be playing for us. So, that got me to start loving music. But then, to cut the story short, 16 years ago, I was introduced to, recording, and I never looked back, from that day, I started recording, and it was just me and my friend, we paid for the studio session, and look, what, something came from that. Yeah, we are today, yeah.
Now, you have 4 studio albums, all of which are centered around the love theme, including your recently released Love and War. Now, what attracts you to writing songs about love, which is the perfect theme, I guess, for right now, where people need love the most?
Look, love is life. You cannot do anything without love. So, I feel very comfortable and happy when I'm singing about love. It's such a very important factor of life. Encouraging those who have fallen out of love and actually bringing those who are actually tired. Other people have dated and dated and dated. They just never got the right person, But then it feels good when somebody calls and say, you know what? I was listening to your song and I feel encouraged. I feel like I can love again. That pushed me very, I get pushed, yeah.
I like that. I love the fact that people are actually calling you up and saying, I believe in love again. I mean, I love love too, so I'm with you there, my brother. Now, your music is popular both in the villages, in townships of Gauteng and Limpopo, and countries like Mozambique, and in taverns and radios across the country. Now, coming from Limpopo, you've said yourself that so few artists make it on a national and international stage. What are your thoughts on this, and where would you like to see music reach?
Look, my thoughts on that. When you're coming from Limpopo, most of the Limpopo artists, or let me just say, Tsonga speaking artists, they are a little bit overrated, let me say. I feel like we're not given a chance to, showcase what we can do, but I would love that to change, and for me to change that, I have to do something. I had to start singing in my language because I used to sing a lot with other languages as well. But then I thought to myself, my language is behind. How about if I start singing and I will be more comfortable as well with my language? So, I want to see that change, and the change start with me as an artist. I've got to put my language out there. And thanks for a show like this that gives us a plug. You guys are giving us a chance to shine as well. Yeah.
We're so happy to be your plug, Henny, because you are doing incredible things. You are a full-time musician, raising 3 beautiful young men. As a father and as a parent, what are some of the most important life lessons that you and your wife are trying to instill in your boys? And how are you managing it all?
Look, when you are a musician, you just have to have a wife that is supporting. If your wife supports you, trust me, you've got all this figured out. Because at the end of the day, it's all about understanding. It's about, appreciating me as an artist first. You know, as a wife, she knows how to, you know, how to put me together when I'm breaking and all that. And as a father as well, my kids, you know, they inspire me to make good music so I can sell and make the moolah. Otherwise, we're going to starve, you know. So we have to balance all this. You know, my kids understand, my wife understands. I also understand that as a father, I've got to give time for my children as well. And you know what? During this time of this, you know, lockdown, I had a very good time that I spent with my family as well. You know, they get to see me and enjoy me.
I love the fact that you are very family orientated and that you hold family values quite high. You have shared with me that you are fortunate enough and privileged enough to have grown up with both parents. And on the show today, we're highlighting fathers like you and the father that you had in your life. Why is that so important? You know, having that patriarchal figure as the head of the household and helping in every way and in every layer of parenthood.
Look, man, it's quite interesting to be a father, and it's you know, it's one of those precious gifts that you cannot exchange. You know, once you become a father, you start looking at life differently. And, you know, I've learned a lot from my father as well, from the experiences that we had, you know, not only the good ones. You know, I mean, I had to, you know, when I'm with my father, I get to learn so much. You know, if he fumbles on the other side, it's a lesson for me not to do the same, you know. So it's quite interesting, but you know what? I cannot complain a bit. I love being a father, and it's one of the greatest gifts God has ever, you know, given me.
I'm sure you wear that daddy badge with pride. It is your most proudful role. Is it easy, though? Is there a manual? Because, you know, some of us aren't parents yet, and we need the help.
Look, you just have to take it one day at a time. It's interesting because, you know, you get to see your little mini yous running around the house. Sometimes you get to shout because they'll be standing in front of the TV. Or, you know, since for me the studio is in the house, I work in the house and then I'll be like, he will just come knocking, daddy, daddy, and I'll be in the middle of a very good verse and I have to restart again. But it's such a very, very exciting feeling. I mean, you cannot beat that.
Oh, you can't beat that little daddy. Please, next time that we have you on Afternoon Express, you have to lay down a verse with your three men there as backing vocalists and your wife there as maybe a little soprano, and we have a family song together.
Yeah, man, I think I should do that as well. You know what? They can sing, actually. You know, my wife can sing, and my kid, my firstborn, he can sing. I had him a couple of times. It's just I don't want to give him that, you know, because I know music can be toxic, eh?
Hey, that is a conversation for another day and another show. We'll be sure to be calling you up, though, to discuss all of that. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate it. And please send our love to the family. Goodbye.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
South Africa, that is Mr. Henny C himself. The Tsonga Prince has given us music. He shared his family life and his love for his wife. Please may you head over to Afternoon Express's Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter. Leave your comments for Mr. Henny C.